Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're getting into something really interesting, asking questions about the past.
Yeah, it sounds straightforward, but it's actually, well, pretty tricky.
Right, like how do we really know if things were better before or how we genuinely felt back then? We've got some great material looking into why our memory can be, let's say, unreliable.
Exactly. We're focusing on those comparative questions, better or worse, and the retrospective ones, like how did you feel? The way memory works throws some curveballs.
And understanding this helps you, the listener, make sense of surveys, news reports, maybe even just your own memories.
Definitely. So one big concept is this thing called retrospective distortion.
Okay, what's that about? It sounds a bit academic.
Maybe a little, but the idea is simple. How you feel now can seriously change how you remember feeling in the past.
Ah, I see. So like if you're having a bad day today.
Right. Or maybe you're just generally unhappy with your job right now. Our sources suggest you might look back at a previous job and, well, kind of underestimate how satisfied you actually were then.
Huh. So your current feelings act like a filter for the past.
A surprisingly powerful filter, yeah. Our present casts a shadow, you could say.
That makes sense. It's like thinking an old hobby was way more boring than it felt at the time just because you found something new you love.
Precisely. And then there's the whole problem with comparing things over time. Those questions can be so vague.
Like asking, compared to 5 years ago, is your health better, worse, or about the same?
Yeah, what does health even mean in that context? And 5 years ago, that's a long time to accurately recall a general feeling. It's very subjective.
Super subjective. So the research points towards memory being pretty hazy there. Okay, so if these questions are flawed, how do we ask better ones?
Good question. The materials we looked at have some solid recommendations. First off, clear time references. Anchor them.
Okay, so instead of a few years ago?
Use something concrete, like in 2020 or since January of this year.
Yeah.
Give the memory a specific target.
Right, not just recently, but in the last month. That feels more manageable to recall.
Definitely. Another key thing is using specific, concrete language. Avoid vagueness about the change itself.
So not have you changed your diet?
No. Much better to ask something like, since January, have you increased, decreased, or not changed the amount of fruits and vegetables you eat weekly? See, more specific behavior.
Yeah, that's much clearer. And it also seems important to give people a good range of answers, right? Not just yes, no, or better, worse.
Absolutely. For capturing nuance, you need balanced options.
Like,
Much better,
Yeah.
somewhat better, about the same, somewhat worse, much worse.
yeah.
Or for that diet question, increased significantly, increased somewhat, stayed about the same, and so on. It lets people be more accurate about the degree of change.
Okay, that makes sense. What about just remembering past feelings or experiences, those retrospective questions? How can we improve those?
Those are tough because, again, memory fades. But using memory cues is really helpful.
Cues, like what?
Tying the question to a specific event, like how confident did you feel after you finished that big project? Instead of just how confident were you last year?
Ah, okay. It anchors the memory to something more solid than just a date.
Exactly. Or using checklists can work too. Instead of asking for a general impression, a checklist can jog the memory about specific things they might have experienced or felt.
Makes sense. It prompts more detailed recall.
It does. It helps get past just the general vibe they might remember.
Okay, so wrapping this up. It seems our memory isn't a perfect recording, especially when comparing over time or recalling feelings.
No, it's definitely fallible. But the good news is we can ask better questions.
By using those clear timeframes, specific language, balanced answers, and memory cues.
Precisely. Those strategies can significantly improve the reliability of the answers we get.
Great insights. So a lot to think about when you encounter survey results or even reflect on your own past.
Definitely. And maybe a final thought for you listening. Think about a time you reevaluated a past memory based on how you felt later on. Knowing what we've discussed today, how might that change your perspective on that memory now? Something to mull over.